It doesn't matter. They're both inferior. In this episode, I'm going to address the question, traditional versus Roth IRAs and 401ks. Get ready and you'll understand why they're okay, but there is something far better than a traditional IRA or 401k or even a Roth IRA or 401k, and why I've never owned any of them and I never will. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've been a retirement planning specialist now for more than 47 years. And so I've helped thousands of Americans save for future long-term goals like retirement. And when they would come to my educational sessions or they would read one of my books, I've been honored in my lifetime to have written 12 books thus far, working on my 13th as I speak. In all of my various educational materials and on this very channel, Three-Dimensional Wealth, which by the way is free, subscribe. I post an in-depth answer to a financial question almost on a daily basis, and I have over 500 educational videos on this very channel, okay? Now, I've helped a lot of people be able to prepare for retirement, and I have to cure their tax dis-ease. Now, I just said the word dis-ease. When we're not at ease physically, we call that disease. Well, there are a lot of people that are not at ease financially when they begin to approach retirement because all of a sudden they have this rude awakening. And they go, well, wait a minute, I've been told for 30 years to follow the herd, everybody's doing it, and put money in the company's 401k, or maybe they offer a Roth, but to put it in with pre-tax dollars. And I'm gonna save taxes every year. Well, yeah, in a given year, maybe, but later on when you retire, you'll likely be in a lower bracket. Can I just share something with you? Most Americans who accumulate any type of a respectable retirement nest egg are not in lower tax brackets when they retire. The only people that are in lower brackets are those that didn't save very much. And if you don't understand that most people are going down the highway with one foot on the gas pedal and the other foot on the brake pedal, they don't even know they're doing it. They're deferring tax to some future perceived unknown advantage. But when I ask people, how many of you think that taxes in the future will likely be higher? Most people go, yeah, I think they're going to be higher. Then why are you doing that? You ought to pay tax on the front end and enjoy the harvest, okay? If you were a farmer and you bought your seed and you didn't have to pay tax on the price of the seed when you bought it in the springtime, but you work hard and you plant, you cultivate, you irrigate in the fall, you harvest your crops, and now you pay tax on what you sell your harvest for? That's a traditional IRA or 401k. I'd rather just pay the tax on the seed money, and in the harvest during my retirement years, I would rather sell my harvest with no tax. And people say, well, then you're talking about a Roth. Well, a Roth is a step in the right direction, but I've never owned an IRA or 401k, never will. I've never owned a Roth, and you're gonna see why. So let's go here to the qualified plans, IRAs, 401ks, 457s, 403bs, and talk about the cons and the pros first of all. The pros are you get tax deductible funding, tax deferred growth, maybe possible matching. You put in $1, your employer puts in 50 cents or 50% match on the first 6%. So golly, you think you're getting a 50% rate of return. No, you're not. You're just starting out with 50% more. What are the cons? It's fully taxed when you go to use it. You must use it up based upon the government's required minimum distribution life expectancy formula, because they've been using you as a partner. It's the best savings bond they ever came up with for themselves. And the remainder is potentially taxed twice upon passing to non-spousal heirs, depending upon the estate tax at the time. Now, because of this, I have never owned an IRA or 401k, never will. I've usually gone another direction, but it's not a Roth. So what happened is in 1997, Roths were introduced, and I'll share with you why. Because a lot of people who would come to me at retirement or just prior to retiring, because I'm a retirement planning specialist, they would look at their IRA and 401k statements like it was the sumptuous Subway hoagie sandwich depicted here on the left. And I would ask them to bring their after-tax IRA 401k statements. I knew they didn't have them, but they go, what? Oh, I'll have to calculate that. I got through calculating what it really looked like after tax, and it was this unappetizing sandwich over here on the right. In other words, if they came to me and they had $1 million accumulated, I would go, only about 650, 700,000 of that is your money. If you pull out 90,000, you're going to have to pay a third 30,000 in tax. You're only going to net 60,000 to buy gas, groceries, prescriptions, and golf green fees. The sad fact is a lot of IRAs and 401ks invested in the market, they only want you to pull out 4%. Because of market volatility, the average retiree in America is only really averaging 3.5%. So they want you to pull out 4% so that even though the nest egg slowly depletes, you won't outlive your money. That's pathetic because $1 million nest egg would only generate $40,000 a year of income. You pay tax, even in a 25% bracket, you're only netting $30,000. I can show you how to get more like 90,000. How much more is 90 than 30? 300% more money. On $1 million nest egg, 90 grand a year of tax-free income versus 30,000 a year of after-tax IRA for 401k income. So when people would come to me with their yet-to-be taxed IRAs or 401ks, I would say, man, were you planning your retirement or Uncle Sam's? Yeah. Sometimes the 401k is not the cat's meow we thought it was, and it doesn't smell very good when we get to that point where we need the money. So what is better? This is why in Time magazine in 2008, the cover story said why it's time to retire the 401k and do something better instead. Stephen Gandel was the author of that article, and he said, the 401k is a lousy idea, a financial flop, a rotten repository for our retirement reserves. Why did he say that? Because Americans lost 40% in the value of their IRAs or 401ks for the second time in that decade. The market volatility. But to me, he even missed the boat when he didn't realize most people are not in lower tax brackets when they retire. So a lot of times people will go, well, golly, so you're talking about a Roth. Well, no. I helped a lot of people do what I call a strategic rollout. This is not a rollover. This is a rollout. A rollover is going from the frying pan to the fire as far as I'm concerned. So a lot of retirees sometimes will roll money over from a 401k into an IRA and continue to delay the inevitable, postpone, procrastinate paying tax until they're age 72. And then if they don't need the money, they have to start taking money out, or else the government will penalize them 50% on what they should have withdrawn on top of the tax. And so most tax strategists say, take out the RMD, required minimum distribution. That's the worst advice I've ever heard for most Americans. You will end up paying far more in tax if you do that. I have episodes on this very channel that prove that. But people will say, well then, what about a Roth? Are you talking about doing a roll out into a Roth? No, that's a rollover. It's a step in the right direction, but I would not do that. So let's talk about a Roth. Roths have basically two benefits. You're putting in after-tax contributions. And so if you roll over from a traditional IRA or 401k, it's going to trigger tax. But you're going to pay tax in today's lower tax rates rather than postponing, thinking taxes are going to be lower in the future. And so you want to get the taxes over and done with sooner than later, and you usually do that strategically. See, you fund a Roth with after-tax dollars, and what happens? Your money accumulates tax-free. And then when you go to access money out of your Roth, it's tax-free. They did that in 1997. Senator Roth said, people are getting smarter. They're realizing they're not in lower tax brackets. So let's dangle a carrot and let's introduce a Roth and name it after me, is what he said. And so it was a step in the right direction because, you know what? It was good for people to get taxes over with sooner than later and enjoy tax-free accumulation and access the rest of their life. But why don't I own one of them? Because I've had the two benefits of a Roth and 4 additional benefits without all the strings attached with a Roth. So let me explain those strings attached. If you're liking what you're hearing here, be sure and share this video, subscribe, click on the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new educational video, which I do almost on a daily basis. But at the end of this video, I'm going to gift you a copy of my most recent best-selling 300-page book, The Laser Fund: How to Diversify and Create the Foundation for a Tax-Free Retirement. Now, the Laser Fund is what many savvy CPAs and tax attorneys refer to as the rich person's Roth. And I snicker because you don't have to be rich to have a laser fund. You can set one up for $500 a month. You can put in 100 grand, 500 grand, $1 million, $2 million, $10 million. You don't have all the strings attached like you do with a Roth. But see, if you make too much money, you can't participate in a Roth. Did you know that? So a laser fund has 6 advantages. It has the 2 advantages of a Roth, but here's the other 4. With your contributions, you can deposit larger sums, okay? I can set up a laser fund to put in $30,000 a year, $50,000, $100,000, $300,000. Do I have to put that much in? No. I could put in $30,000 when I could have put in $100,000 or $300,000, and I can make up, I can catch up anytime I want. You can't do that with a Roth. You can only put in the dollar or the percentage of your income allowed in a given year. You can't play catch up. Not only that, but I can grandfather myself to be able to set aside far more than I'm allowed to put into a Roth. If you need to access money for any reason out of a laser fund, you can. With a Roth, you have to wait 5 years or till you're 59 and a half. These are the strings attached. I have clients who retire at age 35, 40. They put in $200,000. 4 days later, they need to access $120,000 for a business opportunity. You can't do that with a Roth. If you do that in a qualified plan like an IRA or 401k, you're going to have to pay a penalty if you're under age 59 and a half and on and on and on. The laser fund, I have all kinds of liquidity, but using indexing. The 5th advantage, indexing allows me in a laser fund to make money when the market is doing well. When the market goes up, I benefit, and I can earn some years. I've earned 16%, 25%, 61.33%. Watch other episodes on this channel on how clients have locked in tax-free gains on an annual basis of those percentages. But if the market crashes like 2008, our clients were cheering. Go, because they weren't losing a dime. And the first 90 days of 2009, they locked in gains of 16% tax-free after not losing a penny, because you don't lose money when the market goes down because your money is not at risk in the market. This is called indexing. The last and 6th advantage is when you ultimately die, anything left in the laser fund blossoms and transfers tax-free. It increases in value. I'll say this, I'm 69 right now. If I died in an accident tomorrow, every million in my portfolio of laser funds would blossom to about 2.5 million and transfer tax-free to my wife, my kids, my grandkids, a church, a charity, whoever I want to leave it to. There's not a Roth around that will do that. People say, how much does that cost? Well, nothing's free, but it doesn't cost me anything. It's being paid for with a minuscule portion of money that would otherwise go out the window in unnecessary tax if I followed the herd, putting money into traditional IRAs or 401ks. So the answer to the question is neither. I have never owned an IRA, 401k, or a Roth, and I never will, because why would I do that when I can have all the benefits of a Roth and 4 additional benefits? Would you like to read and learn why? I want to gift you a copy of my most recent 300-page best-selling book called The Laser Fund, How to Diversify and Create the Foundation for a Tax-Free Retirement. If you go to laserfund.com, laserfund.com, click on the link below, contribute a nominal amount toward the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost. I'll fire out a hard copy to you. It's 300 pages, actually 2 books in one. This side, 14 chapters with all kinds of charts and graphs. This is for the left brain thinker. This side is the right brain decision maker. This has 62 actual client stories of how the laser fund can be used as the dream solution for all kinds of financial goals, not just retirement. So claim your free copy, and there's also options there to listen and learn, watch and learn. But here is to your brighter future so that you can set aside money into something far better than an IRA or 401k or a Roth IRA or 401k.